Hey there, history fans! Today we're diving into South America to explore the land of majestic volcanoes, lush rainforests, and some seriously delicious coffee, Ecuador. This little country nestled on the equator, hence the name Clever Right, packs a big punch. We're talking Andes Mountains, Amazon Basin, and even those famous Galapagos Islands. Talk about a triple threat of geographical wonders. But Ecuador isn't just pretty to look at. It's got a history as rich and diverse as its landscape, with ancient civilizations, colonial drama, and enough modern-day intrigue to keep things spicy. So buckle up, amigos, because we're about to embark on a whirlwind tour of Ecuador's epic past, from ancient times to the modern marvel it is today. Ready to time travel? Let's go. Way before the Spanish showed up with their horses and fancy hats, bringing with them a wave of change that would forever alter the landscape and culture, Ecuador was already a happening place. It was a land bustling with life, culture, and innovation. We're talking thousands of years ago, folks, long before the concept of modern nations even existed. This was the time of the Valdivia culture, one of the oldest civilizations in the Americas. They thrived along the coast, leaving behind a legacy that still fascinates archaeologists today. These guys were masters of pottery, creating beautiful ceramic figures that would make even a modern art collector drool. Their intricate designs and craftsmanship were truly ahead of their time. They were also pretty adept at agriculture because, someone had to keep the feasts going. They cultivated crops like maize, beans, and squash, ensuring a stable food supply. And let's not forget other pre-Columbian groups like the Machalila, the Volcanoes, and the Canary, each contributing their own unique flavors to the cultural melting pot. Each of these groups had their own unique traditions and contributions to Ecuador's cultural tapestry. They were weaving textiles, forging metals, and creating tools that were both functional and artistic, and trading with each other centuries before online shopping was even a glimmer in Mark Zuckerberg's eye. These trade networks connected various communities, facilitating the exchange of goods, ideas, and culture. It's safe to say that Ecuador was never short on innovation and creativity. From their tools to their art, these early Ecuadorians were true pioneers. These early civilizations laid the groundwork for the vibrant and diverse nation we see today. Their legacy lives on in the rich cultural heritage that continues to shape Ecuador. Fast forward a few centuries and a new player enters the game, the mighty Inca Empire. Rising from the highlands of Peru, the Incas built one of the largest and most sophisticated empires in pre-Columbian America. These guys were like the rock stars of ancient South America, with an empire stretching from modern-day Colombia all the way down to Chile. Their influence was vast, and their engineering marvels like Machu Picchu still baffle historians and architects today. And yes, they even conquered a good chunk of Ecuador because even emperors can't resist a good Andean vista. The region's breathtaking landscapes and strategic importance made it a valuable addition to the Inca Empire. The Inca influence on Ecuador is still visible today, from the ruins they left behind to the Quechua language still spoken by many communities. The architectural styles and agricultural terraces are a testament to their ingenuity and adaptability. They even had their own version of Amazon Prime, using a complex system of roads and messengers to keep information flowing faster than a llama on a caffeine rush. This network, known as the Capac Nan, spanned thousands of miles and connected the far reaches of their empire. Okay, maybe not that fast, but you get the idea. The efficiency and speed of their communication system were unparalleled in the ancient world, ensuring that the emperor's orders were swiftly carried out. The Inca presence in Ecuador may have been relatively brief, but it left an undeniable mark on the region's cultural and political landscape. Their legacy continues to influence modern Ecuadorian society, from traditional practices to contemporary cultural expressions. Section 4. The Spanish arrival. Let's just say things got interesting. And then, in the late 15th century, everything changed. The winds of change were blowing, and they carried with them the sails of Spanish galleons, ready to make their mark on the New World. Cue dramatic music and the sound of Spanish galleons approaching. These ships, with their billowing sails and creaking hulls, were the harbingers of a new era. Yes, just like in many other parts of the Americas, the arrival of the Spanish in Ecuador marked a turning point. The indigenous people watched as these strangers, clad in armor and bearing strange flags, stepped onto their shores. They came, they saw, they conquered, and by conquered we mean they brought some serious changes, not all of them good. The Spanish were not just explorers. They were conquerors with a mission. The Spanish, led by conquistadors like Francisco Pizarro, who probably had a really good GPS for his time, established their rule, bringing with them their language, religion, and a love for gold that would make even a dragon envious. Pizarro and his men were relentless in their quest for wealth and power. Colonial life wasn't all sunshine and roses, or should we say sunshine and orchids. The Spanish built grand cities with impressive architecture, but beneath the surface, there was tension and hardship. It was a time of upheaval, with indigenous populations facing displacement, disease, and exploitation. The arrival of the Spanish brought with it new diseases that devastated local communities, and the exploitation of resources and people became rampant. But amidst the turmoil, a new culture began to emerge, a blend of indigenous traditions and Spanish influences that would shape Ecuador for centuries to come. This fusion created a unique cultural tapestry, rich in history and tradition that continues to be celebrated today. Section 5, Freedom Time. Ecuador declares independence. Fast forward a few centuries and the people of Ecuador were, understandably, ready for a change. The desire for independence was brewing, fueled by the ideals of the Enlightenment and the success of revolutions in North America and Europe. Finally, in 1822, Ecuador said adios to Spanish rule, joining forces with neighboring countries to break free from colonial control. This was thanks in no small part to Simon Bolivar, the George Washington of South America, except, with better hair. The road to independence was paved with epic battles, political intrigue, and enough drama to make a telenovela blush. But in the end, Ecuador emerged as a free and independent nation, ready to forge its own destiny. Section 6. Modern Ecuador, from bananas to oil and beyond. So Ecuador is independent, but now what? Well, the story of modern Ecuador is one of ups and downs, just like the stock market, but with fewer graphs and more llamas. There were periods of political instability, yes, but also significant strides in social and economic development. Ecuador went from being primarily known for its bananas, no seriously they were a big deal, to discovering oil, which, let's just say, changed the game a bit. They ditched the sucre for the US dollar, talk about simplifying your currency exchange, and elected their first female president in 2007. Through it all, the Ecuadorian spirit has remained strong, characterized by a deep love for their country, a passion for their culture, and an unyielding determination to build a brighter future. Section 7. Ecuador today, small country, big future. So there you have it, a crash course through the incredible history of Ecuador. From ancient civilizations to Spanish conquest, from independence to the complexities of the modern world, Ecuador has seen it all. And through it all, the country has retained its unique identity, a vibrant tapestry woven from indigenous traditions, Spanish influences, and a dash of that special something that only Ecuador can offer. Today, Ecuador stands as a beacon of biodiversity, a cultural melting pot, and a nation on the rise. So next time you hear the name Ecuador, remember that it's more than just a line on a map. It's a country with a rich history, a vibrant present, and a future as bright as the sun shining down on the equator.